Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Fourth and Nine to Victory. This is our channel dedicated to all things USC football. Man, welcome. I'm your boy, Fight on Kristen.
And I'm your boy, B Jinx.
Definitely. And I don't know if you could tell, man, we coming off a great weekend. I'm so excited. USC football 1-0, right? This Saturday, we took on the Missouri State Bears. They came into the Coliseum and took quite the beat down. USC was victorious 73-13. So a lot of great things to talk about in that game and what we've seen. And so that is what's going to be on the topic of discussion today.
Hey, Kristen, they took a beat down in a check.
Hey, that's what it's about. Look, they just now moved. Props to them. Props to State for taking this game, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Missouri State. Yeah, definitely.
They're just moved up this year to big time football. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be taking a lot more of these games with different schools as well. But it's tough. But like you said, they took a beat down and got a good check for it. So, but definitely props to them. So getting right into it, just following up from the game that we watched. Again, everyone, we always go live every Saturday during the game. We do a watch party. That is what our show is for. We do in-game and game time analysis. We allow individuals to call in. That way you can tell us what you're seeing. You can comment and share as well. So definitely Saturday was our first one, and it went great. But getting into that, we're just going to discuss some things that we're seeing. We both had an opportunity to go back and watch the game as well again, look at some film and dissect what we've seen. So we just wanted to have a post-game wrap-up here and share some of our thoughts from the Missouri State game. So the first quarter, I should say, well, not first quarter, we do downs, right? First, second, third, and fourth down.
Right.
So first down here, B, is what did you see from USC that gives you optimism that we can be a playoff team this year? Not 26, which everybody else, but this year.
Well, I saw something different that I haven't seen in a few years. Everybody looked like they were having fun. I saw team chemistry out there. I didn't see anyone on the sidelines moping about not being able to get play or get touches or get any type of tackle. So I saw a lot of team togetherness out there. I saw the play calling on point. I saw the defensive calls on point. I saw that we did well with managing the clock. I also saw that we did a great job with balancing the attack, on offense with the runs and with the passes. I didn't see anyone trying to do anything outside of what their assignment was. And what also gave me a lot of optimism was I saw a lot of discipline out there. You didn't see a lot of penalties. So, those are some of the first steps you take outside of anything administrative that signals to me that we may be able to make a run and get into the playoff, which something that we haven't done since the playoff started.
Got you, man. And what I've seen that gives me optimism is I had some keys that I wanted to see going into the game. Okay. And those things that I wanted to see, for the most part, I've seen them. One of those things was, can our defensive line be who we think it was going to be on paper in the preseason? Could they get negative plays, right, from the defensive lineman, the front forward? Can they get sacks? Can they tackle the running back for a loss in the backfield? And what gives me optimism is I seen it from a lot of people. Like the depth at the defensive line is for real. Props out to USCJ, who's been talking about it since the spring. Carter, likes Torch, all those guys that was able to actually see it with their own eyes. But for me to be able to physically see it on Saturday, I'm a believer because I seen. Like at first I was hopeful that the line would be what we were thinking it was going to be, but I think it's going to be there, and there's so much depth. Not even just from the interior, but the ends, like the front four. I mean, you remember we were watching, like Ja didn't even get into the second half, and we're like, who's that monster?
It was
Like,
close to the
hey,
fourth quarter,
man.
wasn't it? Wasn't it like
Yeah.
close to the fourth quarter when he got in?
What about mid third quarter? And
Mid
soon as
third quarter?
and
Yeah, I
he
thought
came
so.
in and dominated, right? You
Right.
know, they still had their starters in, like the push, Keyshawn Silver, Tompkins, Jade, right? And then
Right. Today was the
even
start.
on the ends, like produce. I got too cocky, right? Because Brandon Shelby ended up with more sacks than
Then Fountain.
than
Hey, what did I say to you pregame about that? Who did
Yeah,
I call? I
because
called you for that.
you remember midway through the game, I was saying who said that their impact player for the day is Fountain, who said it, and then he ended up getting caught with sacks. But that's a great thing. So that's what gives me optimism is that the depth I see amongst the defensive line and watching these other teams and all that, I don't see that they have that type of depth. And so having that depth on that defensive line and no drop off is going to help us a lot late in games and in season to deal with injury to be able to plug and play people. So that it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help us later on in season because unfortunately, this is the um, sport of football. It's a violent sport,
Physicality.
so
Yep.
you're going to have attrition. So
Mm-hmm.
depth is going to be very important. Not just depth, just having bodies along the line, but I think we got a great core of players along that defensive line that you could plug in there at any given time. And even though we had mentioned what was the defensive lineman name? They got in late. Was it Jared? Not Josh Jared. Who was it? Silver got in late. Is that the real big kid?
Both of them are big, but so Silver got in the first half. Josh Jared didn't get in until about the third.
Jared, that's what I'm talking about. Even though he didn't get into the second half, like I said, almost
he
towards
dominated.
the fourth quarter, he dominated. He didn't come in and give a half effort. He came in and he dominated. He showed why, hey, look, coach, I should be starting as well. He came in and showed
he came in immediately, started pushing offensive linemen in the quarterback's lap, and like you can see it, like man, that's a big guy. That's a big kid, man.
Most definitely.
So definitely. So now we're going to move on to second down, and second down for this segment is going to be what did you see that with the team on Saturday, if anything, give you concerns for the year?
Let's see. It's kind of hard to say because
73-13.
Yeah, because they did so well offensively and defensively. We got sacks, we got tackles for losses, we got interceptions. I would say right now, Kristen, I would probably give it an incomplete decision right now because we did see more. We didn't. We have. I don't think. We've seen. Of course, we haven't seen. The stiffer part of our schedule. So, first game of the season, you could tell definitely that the other team, Missouri State, and this is no disrespect to Missouri State, but they were just simply outmatched. But what made me have a lot of optimism is it may be going back to question number one was that we didn't play down to the level of our competition.
Gotcha.
That was the main important thing.
That we did what we were supposed to do. Well,
did what we were supposed to do because there's been games.
35 points, we doubled it, right?
Right. So with games in the past and more so recently within the last 4 or 5 years, we struggled with teams or inferior opponents and they be in the game into the fourth quarter, and then we finally blow the doors off of them. This one right here, listen, you could tell from the first quarter, these guys were overmatched. So, but improvements that I would like to see. I would probably like to see our second string or third string not give up any sacks.
Mm-hmm.
There was a play where off the left side, Longstreet took a sack. It was a strip sack.
Mm-hmm.
So one flaw that I saw in that offensive lineman that gave up that sack was, when the ball snapped, he almost immediately stood straight up, which allowed the other guy to kind of like push him and then swim technique inside. Also, I would like to see Longstreet slide.
And that time he'll true freshman. So
right.
He'll get there. He'll coach.
And also, I would like to see Longstreet not take so many hits, man. And I understand he's a freshman. He's trying to, go out there and compete, which is what you're taught in practice. But he has to remember how important he is to the team. because we're one play away from something that happened to Maava. Knock on wood that nothing happens, but we're one play away from him start actually being the starter. So I understand why he has that Trojan mindset. He has to be smart as well. So you can't be taking on 3 players to get a first down like that. You know,
when we're up,
like that. Well, now we're in a tight game and we're playing a Michigan, we're playing an Oregon, and we need that first down. Then but not against Missouri State. He took a couple tough hits. You know, and the kid popped right back up, but
man, he
I would like
has.
to see him slide some.
You look at his arms; he has good size.
Yeah,
I think it's one of them things. I think it's one of them things to where the coaches is going to have to engrave that with him, because coming straight, like let's think about it, he was in high school just 6 months ago, and in high school he was running through the defenders like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got to they got to teach him and get him used to it on this level.
Caleb was like that too. His first season at SC, who was like that, you know, when he first came over, he would be taking on hits like that.
Yeah, he quickly stopped at the Heisman year and start sliding.
Right.
He'll take it on, like he said, when necessary. Right. So my concern is not a concern, but I'm from the mentality and the coach's background of that never accept anything in a win that you wouldn't in a loss. And there were some things going back watching on the film that I'm not gonna say it's cause of concern, but it needs to be cleaned up. Right. Okay. The first thing is with our starting defense. We gave up 3 chunk plays, and that was with the starting defense, right? So it was third on the first drive. It was 3rd and 3. We give up a 20-yard run on 3rd down. That can't happen. And you go back and you look at the footage. It's basically due to the gap integrity, right? Everyone's responsible for a gap. Someone was a little late to their gap, end up getting chip blocked, which opened that hole, and he's down for 20 yards. Another third down on another drive, they run the screen play, 20 yards. So these big chunk plays on 3rd down that we're giving up. The other one was on 4th down, and it was a bomb. We had that meltdown in coverage on the back end, right? When they scored a touchdown the pass. That was a 4th down. So we gave up with our starting defense, we gave up 3 20-plus yard plays, chunk plays, and it was 3rd and 4th down. Not a cause of concern because it's
first game,
but again, never accept anything in a win that you win in a loss, because when we're in those one possession type games, those are the things that cause you to lose, right? Those are the type of things that get you beat. So if I'm a coach and when I played college ball, we used to watch our film and all that on Sunday. Saturday, we would have a light practice, but we did film walkthroughs and all that stuff and looked at the pregame. That's the stuff I'm pointing out, because things like that get you beat. One thing I noticed it also is the starting lineup, offensive lineup. If you look on those first couple of drives, there were many times Maiva had to escape the pocket because the pocket broke down. He was being pressured. Again, is it cause a concern thing? But when we get into conference and we're playing these other teams, that stuff can't happen. That's the type of stuff that gets you beat. So I agree. Especially with our offensive line and mix and match and all that. Yeah, we know what's going to happen, but just something you need to have cleaned up when it comes time to play the big boys. The other thing, Mav was my guy. I've been called for him. Played an excellent game, but these are the things that can come back and hunt you in big games. When he escaped the pocket, again, he had the ball in one hand like a loaf of bread, right? We seen it last year against Nebraska. He was running, to the right. He tends to, he has big hands, hold the ball with one hand, and Nebraska was able to knock the ball out of his hand. Just as a coach, if I'm looking at that's something I'm saying, hey, let's make sure if we're escaping the pocket and, someone's chasing us that, we're protecting the ball, because again, you don't want things like that when you get into the big games to come back and hunt you.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that point, Christian, because he's such a huge target. What is he, about 6'4" and a half, 6'5", and it's easier for a lineman to get to the ball to knock it out than it would be a smaller kid like Longstreet. You understand what I'm saying? He's such a huge target. So, yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yep. All right. We done went through quarter 1, quarter 2. Now we're on to quarter 3.
Third down. Third down.
Third down. I'm sorry. Third down. You were right. From what you've seen Saturday, going back, being able to do some film study and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
First game, I know it's Missouri State.
Mm-hmm.
What is the overall grade that you'll give the team on their performance? Overall team performance.
Overall team performance, I would have to say an A, and straight up A. I wouldn't go minus. I wouldn't go plus. Again, I don't think we've seen enough to, and I don't want to give it an insufficient, but you can't take away from a team doing what they're supposed to do. Again,
Right.
had this been a situation in the past before where this was a nip tuck game up until midway to the third quarter or the fourth quarter.
They would have put up 28 points.
Yeah. Then we put up 28, 30 points. Then I would be more inclined to give them a lower grade. But the running game was clicking.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive game was clicking. We actually got 2 interceptions. We got 5 sacks, about 12, 13 TFLs, a fumble recovery.
Yeah.
The pick six from the kid that transferred in from North Carolina State. Bishop Fitzgerald. Again, how many rushing touchdowns did we get? 6.
Let's see. My got one.
B-Jack got 2.
B-Jack got 2.
No, B-Jack got 1. Longstreet got 2. Longstreet
I thought B-Jack had 2.
No, B-Jack had 1. Eli Sanders had 1. Eli Sanders he didn't get a rushing touchdown. He got his on screen. It was a screen. Yeah. But the walk-on got a touchdown.
Yeah, number 30. I forget his name.
Yeah, his name escapes me. He got a touchdown as well. So we're probably looking at about 6-7 touchdowns total.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And also, what solidifies the A for me is the 2 touchdowns that the tight ends got. Now, the wide receivers didn't get any touchdowns, but limited lane. But their time is going to come. Their time is going to come. We've done something that we haven't done as a team in a long time, and that's get our tight ends into the end zone, which adds another element of threat to any opposing team. Hey, look, we're going to use these tight ends this year. And I was so happy for Lake McCree getting that touchdown. He's battled through injuries last season before that. Hopefully he can stay healthy the entire season. Carson Tabarachi got into the end zone with a pass from Longstreet. So right now, if we just have to give a grade right now, based off of the first game, I would say it's an A.
Yep, and that's King Miller. King Miller. Number 30 had a touchdown, and we had total of 6 rushing touchdowns on Saturday,
right?
Which is amazing. And man, McCree, McCree looked he looked healthy. He looked healthy on that play. I don't know how else to say it. He looked healthy. Solid. He broke out. Yeah, he broke out. So that's definitely, like you said, something we can get in the offense this year and utilize those tight ends. But again, it's going to come down, and we'll see when we get to Illinois. We'll get a good sample when we get to Purdue. Is that will this offensive line be able to hold up, right? And pass blocking, and I don't think they're going to have an issue in run blocking, but that was kind of like last year. We had better, they were better at run blocking than was pass blocking. But I said, watching the film from Saturday, there were pressures in there from the starting offensive line, right, from Missouri State, and you would think he wouldn't have been pressured at all on any downs or have to escape the pocket.
Well, here's the thing, Christian. I don't really think that Coach Riley showed even 10% of his hand. I really think that he maybe called like less than 10% of his playbook.
No, definitely not.
He threw in a couple of screens. Threw in a couple of screens for the second team, but mostly for the starters, for the first string, they were handing the ball off and just play action and hitting the receivers out, and hitting the tight end. So he really didn't show anything. The only record, like I said, he may have run a couple 12 personnel.
He did that.
He did that, That's just so to show, anybody that's watching tape,
Yeah,
hey, look, this is
make
what
them
we got.
prepare for it.
Yeah,
Make them
this is what we
prepare.
got. This is what I've added to my repertoire. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. And I can tell you, boy, that 3-headed monster we got.
Oh
Excuse me,
man,
running back is something else.
it's dangerous.
It's
It's gonna
something
be
else.
a good
I've been
thing to watch him this
and
season.
I've
What's
been
his name?
saying it,
Wayman
man.
Jordan.
Wayman Jordan. I've been saying
Yeah.
it since we got him. I was like, man, dude. I was like, he's not the highest man at the JUCO level for nothing. He didn't that. It's not for nothing. Then I watched his highlight tape, man. And just, I mean, did you see the first time he touched the ball? I mean, his stick foot, like it was just he set that the defender up from 5 yards ahead of him, set him up, and he hit him with the bush. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Another thing
So
that I noticed, man, and you may have noticed it also, we chat a lot of times, when we're not live or recording, the speed that we got have on offense.
faster, man. The team looks faster.
The speed that we got, even the walk on running back,
Yeah,
he's fast. We
man.
got a lot of speed on that team, and Eli Sanders, it was kind of somewhat,
Eli had the
running the
knees.
way
Eli had the knees
he
up.
ran with those high knees, but they wasn't catching them though. It's
Hey, he was
effective.
pulling away from him. He was
To do
gone.
it, but that kid is
Track
fast.
star,
But
man.
I think Riley did a good job with bringing these kids in the portal, giving the shot to the walk on man. But we have a mixture of speed and power.
Yeah.
So we need to go inside. We get inside the 5-yard line, the 10-yard line, and we need to power that ball over the goal line, or maybe even pick up a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 when they know we're going to run the ball. You bring in a kid like B Jack, or even leave Jordan in there. So,
but here's my I think the plan for Jack is just what you said, and as well when we get in them 4-quarter drives and we need to bleed the clock, where we want that 3 and 4 yard pop to slow the game down and all that. We need to lead, because check this out. I played DB in college. I don't want to hit B Jack in the 4th quarter.
I wouldn't. Hey, I wouldn't either.
Hey, I'm tired already. Hey, and then he you know what I'm saying? He got fresh legs because he been, alternating with 2 other backers. He come there with fresh legs, man. Body blow, bow. You know what
if
I mean?
You notice too, Christian, that happened in the bowl game against Texas A&M. By the time the 4th quarter came, those DBs and even the linebackers didn't want to, tackle B Jack. They didn't want to, and he ran hard, and he stuck his foot in the ground, and he got upfield, and he ran violent. So, like I said, a few minutes ago, I think that Riley did a good job of bringing in some speed to add in along with that power. So I think there's just another tool that he has, at his disposal. Again, a few years back when we needed to pick up that 3rd and 1, I don't think that we had to back in there to do it, or we need to pick up that goal line, that goal line, and from the 3-yard line, from the 4-yard line, and they got everything condensed, and we just couldn't get it. I think B Jack, especially with him having an extra year under his belt the way he is, I think that it's going to be hard to defend us.
And a perfect situation for B is you and our boy USCJ and Carter, y'all calling for packages for to be in there on the goal line with B Jack for man, what's our backup quarterback, man? I just forgot his name that quick.
Longstreet.
Yeah. So y'all calling for packages for
listen
on the goal line and for 3rd and 1.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely going to be. It's definitely, if that happens, it's definitely going to be hard to defend, because it's like take your poison.
Yeah, because
his speed was very impressive.
Right. Again, if we ever get into a situation like that, would it be more beneficial? And this may be another show that we have to do. Would it be more beneficial to bring in a Longstreet, because not only does he bring that element of speed in, for any ends crashing down on our running backs, he's not a big target like Maeva is. Like I was saying about, sometimes, the defense hitting Maeva, and he has that ball carrying it out like a loaf of bread. He's an easier target because he's so big. Well, with Longstreet, he's a smaller target. It kind of reminds you of Kyler Murray almost. Probably made it maybe not as elusive as or quick as Kyler Murray, but he can definitely get to the edge and get the job done. You saw that on Saturday.
But we also got to remember, though Longstreet is faster. I mean, Maeva can be productive in his own read too. Because
I'm not taking anything away from Maeva now at all.
Looking at the game film from Saturday, Maeva actually kept it, and we seen that he can run the ball.
Right.
He kept it 2 or 3 times and had 14 yards on those carries because those wheels was crashing down. So he can definitely, and then when he scored, he made a nice little move.
I agree with you, but the difference would be in a situation like that to where Maeva got 10, 12, 14 yards, Longstreet will probably end up getting 25, 30 yards. That would be the difference. He's faster and he's smaller. He's harder to target for the defense. You understand what I'm saying? So he will probably double up on that yardage. But both of them are effective. Both quarterbacks are effective.
Man, we're good at the quarterback position now and the future. And if we get Houston in 27, I think we're in a good spot there. All right. We don't punt here. Fourth down, so we going into fourth down. We don't punt. we don't punt. We go for it every fourth down. All right. Saturday. We got good old Georgia Southern coming in.
Right.
Georgia Southern, their leader, their El Capitan, their head coach is Clay Helton.
Former USC coach.
So the fourth down question is, what is your excitement level for Clay to be returned to the Coliseum, right? Mm-hmm. And basically your impression on Clay Helton. So what is your Go ahead.
My excitement level, I'm excited to see Clay Helton come back. I know it's going to probably be an emotional game for him because he spent so much time at SC and what the program has meant for him. I hate that it didn't work out for him, at SC, but, the program needed to head in a different direction, and he deserves, an opportunity to go and further his coaching career. Now, I will say this in defense of Clay Helton. Since Pete Carroll left, he's been the only coach at USC to win a conference championship in a New Year's Six bowl game. He's been the only head coach. However, he just wasn't getting the job done, and he wasn't consistent enough. There's been a lot of talent that has left Southern Cal because of there was a lack of development. But again, that could be a whole nother show in its entirety, right? But I'm excited to see. I'm sure he'll be pumped for it. I'm sure he's going to throw everything he can, including the kitchen sink at SC. At the end of the day, I think it's going to be a similar situation to what the Missouri State game was. They'll be just a little bit, overmatched.
Got you, man. I don't know if it's just like an excitement. Like I would be like, oh yeah, I can't wait till Clay come back. I know a lot of people are saying that, but my thing is, I don't know what people's issue with Clay Helton is because Clay Helton didn't hire himself. You know what I'm saying? Right. He didn't hire himself. He didn't get himself an extension. So I don't have an issue with Clay. Like you said, he's the only coach that since Carroll left that won a conference championship, even in a big time bowl game, right? The Rose Bowl against Penn State. And so I don't have any problems with it. I wish it could have worked out better, but it didn't. If you look at the infrastructure and everything that he inherited, he didn't inherit a great program, right? He was kind of thrown, into the position because of what was going on with the prior coaches. Unfortunately, we couldn't get we didn't get the mature Lane Kiffin that Ole Miss got. We didn't get the Sark that's not on the bottle like Texas got. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we're going through a lot. We're going through sanctions. So he inherited it and he did the best that he can with it. Best enough. So I don't have a problem with Clay. Like I still follow Georgia Southern. I root for Georgia Southern to win, not Saturday, because I actually, like Clay. He was a good, I don't know personally, but he seemed like a good man and all that. My only issue with Clay teams were that they were so undisciplined and it seemed like they made the same mistakes week in, week out, and it was never
They
addressed
weren't
it.
getting any better. They weren't getting.
Yeah, it's like, are you guys talking to them about this? Like, I would be chewing them out. It's like, how are we still getting? How are the offensive linemen still jumping outside? Defensive linemen jumping outside. Same thing they were doing last week. Sam Darnold, we love Sam Darnold, and that's why I was confused about the people who love Sam Darnold but had a problem with Jaden Maiava. I mean, they were how Maiava was last year was one and the same. How Sam Darnold was, it would be
identical player, right?
It'd be like, yay. No, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That was what we got with
It's
Sam
the same
Darnold.
way with Sam Darnold. You're absolutely correct. It was the same way with him.
Yeah, Sam Darnold was going to give us 2 touchdowns, but he was going to give us a fumble loss by getting sacked and an interception as well. He's going to give you 2 or 3 turnovers.
And he ended up going number 6 in the NFL draft? Number 6 or number 7?
No, man. I think Sam Darnold was the number 1 pick that year.
No, Sam Darnold wasn't the number 1 pick. He went to the Jets. I think he was like number 5 or number 6. Yeah, he didn't go that high.
Man, I don't know why I was thinking Sam Darnold went number 1.
No. He wasn't that high.
He was a 3rd overall pick.
Third overall.
He was a 3rd overall pick
to the Jets, right?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. He was in the class. He was in there with Baker. Baker was
okay.
Number 1 pick.
Okay.
He was in there with Baker.
Okay.
Yeah, he went 3rd. Sam Darnold went 3rd to the Jets. But man, so excited. So let me ask you this, because I know my answer is no. I'm not going to be. You know, if I was there and they introduced him, I would cheer for him and say thank you. Do you expect the Collie to boo Helton on Saturday? Or
I don't think they'll boo Helton again. Helton wasn't a bad guy. You know, right? It's just that he allowed too much talent to lead the state, and he wasn't developing players. And like you said, he took over. He was almost like a substitute teacher, if you will. They ended up, being tenured. Hold on. Let me finish. They ended up hiring him on. Yeah. They ended up hiring him on full time. But even before then, you have to remember when they let Sark go, or even when they let Kiffin go. Let's go back to Kiffin. You know, they put Clay Helton in there, right? And right before they got ready to hire Sark, I'm sure, you know, they looked at some other candidates, but, you know, with Sark and Kiffin both being from the Carroll tree, they just felt comfortable. So when Sark didn't work out, who they turned to again? They turned to Helton. He was the adult in the room when we didn't have an adult. And the problem is, you're right. You know, Ole Miss got the mature Lane, and Texas got the mature Sark. But that was after they had gone and got, you know, that structure and that discipline up on the Saban. But before then, they was up on a Pete. But Pete was more so like your favorite uncle. But Pete, they didn't have Pete's personality. They didn't have Pete's cachet. The only thing that was different was, you know, we were just familiar with those two. So again, at the time, Hilton was the adult in the room, and the kids respected him because he even won a couple. I think didn't he win like the Las Vegas Bowl too when Sark
here's the thing. But here's the thing, because and then we were like, why did Lynn Swan, of course Lynn Swan was an AD at the time, you know, give him an extension, all that. But like you said, he's the only coach that won the conference title. He's the only coach that since Carroll left that won a major bowl game. He's the only. I'm gonna add this. He's the only coach since Carroll left that had back-to-back. He got his contract extension off of coming off back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Right.
So
I think it was Pat Hayden that gave him the. I think it was Pat Hayden that gave him the extension. Lynn Swan didn't.
I'm looking at it. It's Lynn Swan.
It was Lynn Swan. I thought it was Pat Hayden. Pat Hayden. No, Pat Hayden hired him.
Yeah,
Pat Hayden hired him.
Lynn Swan was the athletic director. Lynn Swan gave it to him.
Okay, he was athletic.
But he was coming off. He was coming off back-to-back 10-win season conference. You know what I'm saying? Which you know that makes sense. So I think in totality, when we look at it, I don't think people really understand that it wasn't like Clay Helton was going under 500. Like, so he was doing an okay job. It just wasn't enough for what we need, and that's why I don't have any ill wishes. I'm not gonna boo the man. You know what I'm saying? If as I watch, I'm not gonna be there live, but as I'm watching on TV, if they show the introduction, they say Clay Helton, I'm like, appreciate
Now
you, Clay.
he did have that one bad season. What we went 4-8 that season? I think that's the year that JT Daniels got hurt. Well, it was 21. No, it wasn't the year JT Daniels got hurt. I think it was the year that
Well,
Keenan
it
went
probably
out.
was 21 because he got fired in 21.
Yeah. So that's the season where the program just looked in disarray, man. Everybody was passing us up. Again, we weren't considered to be the flagship program on the West Coast anymore. You had kids,
But
leaving out of Cali in droves, heading to other
that
programs.
stopped before that stopped before Hilton though. Us not being yeah. That stopped before
At
Hilton.
least, we weren't winning, but at least
Yeah, in
Sark
2020 we
and
were
we
3 and
weren't
6.
winning, but at
So
least
4 and 8. Yeah.
At least Sark and
Was
Kiffin didn't
gone.
let the top talent get out of the state. Is what I'm saying. When they left, the top talent was leaving the state, and we were not winning. Is what I'm saying. Now he was winning some, but the talent was leaving. So
Yeah.
eventually, that when with all of your talent gone, and then you having to face that talent, and then losing to that talent, I can see the alumni and the boosters and the fans having an issue with that. I can see that.
Like indeed.
So while he was the only person to win, a conference title, you have to look at the long picture, the long run. And that's why they were on Riley so tough the way they were on him as far as keeping the talent home. And eventually he woke up and started doing just that.
Got you. Well, my guy, we have went through our downs. Of course, we always get a first down. So we will start over again on first down. Everybody make sure that you subscribe, post the channel. We'll be back this Saturday.
Hit the bell. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications.
Notifications, yes, sir. We'll be back this Saturday. We always hop on 30 minutes before game time, and we'll go through another 4 downs. We'll look at Georgia Southern, answer 4 questions around their keys, our impact players, and so on. And then we will be watching the game live all together. That's what we do.
I think the game is the same time as it was this past Saturday, right?
It is. Yes, sir.
So we'll be on 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes, sir. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So
right.
And bring your questions, your comments. We'll put the phone number in the comment section as well, so you guys can call in as we're watching the game, voice your opinion, share whatever you want to share or what you're seeing during the game, and we'll be breaking down what we see as we take on the Georgia Southern. And I want to say they're the Eagles, right?
I think they're the Eagles. Yeah,
Georgia Southern. As we take on the Georgia Southern Eagles, we'll do our predictions and things prior to the game. As far as impact players, what we think the score, we'll discuss on what we expect to see, what we need to see, and what we think we'll see, and go into a little more game analysis. We'll also try to have a injury report for you to give you a list of anyone who will not be playing on Saturday, but we'll give you all that information on Saturday. But until then, we appreciate everyone. Like, subscribe. Thank you for giving our channel a view and your support. And as always, fight on.
Fight on. See you Saturday.